I have learned to appreciate the role that everyone has on a team.
Along the way, with help of friends and mentors, I found out about a career in user experience.
Algorithmic self-assembly or programmable matter, just kind of cool things like that.
I feel like I've become more familiar with how APIs work.
There's something that you know that other people don't. Likewise, there's stuff that other people know that you don't.
So in terms of managing my time, it was just doing anything and everything that I felt like I could do and that would help me grow.
The deadline is in like 2 months from now, so it's fine. Like, you can fix it now.
You have to trust that over time, you keep putting in the work, it'll get you there.
So my name is Alejandra Santos, but everyone calls me Ale. I am currently working for PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, as a cybersecurity, privacy, and forensics consulting associate. I think that's the official name of it, but like I'm just an associate. I've been at it since January. I've been at it for like 4 months. So far, so good. I'm not dead yet. I graduated in December with my bachelor's in computer science with a minor in medical Spanish. That's it. Yeah, so funny story. I ended up applying for an internship for PwC back in like 2018, and I got rejected. And then I applied for another one in 2019. I got rejected. 2020 rejected. 2021 rejected. And then by the time that it was the Grace Hopper the conference, I was like, I'm just gonna apply. I want the experience. I applied to 20 different places and I got rejected to 18 of them. It was really hard. It was really brutal. But it was really good. I ended up taking I think 2 or 3 cybersecurity courses here at UTRGV. They basically taught us the basics. So when they asked me they did 2 case studies. It was one in which they talked about personality, tell me about yourself. And I'm really good at talking about myself. And then the second one, I was really nervous for it. It was a use case. And then they're like, oh, let's say that a client is asking you to do this. What would you do? And then I was like, oh, I'm going to use hashing. I didn't even remember what it was, but I remember that it was a word that they used very often in my class. I was like, oh, I would use hashing. And I got the job that same week. And then there was another job that I applied for. That one was for an actual software engineering role. Mind you, I do not know coding. I graduated with a bachelor's in computer science, but I do not know coding. And I know what you think, oh, she's probably just she knows coding, but she said and nobody does it. No, but I really didn't know what I was doing. When they asked me a lot of questions, I was like, I do not know the answer to this. I do not know the answer to this, but I will learn it. And they gave me the job for that one too. So I was like, dang, which one do I get? Do I get the first one? Do I get the second one? And I was basically undecided because one of them, it was for a lot, more money than what I asked for, but it was in the middle of nowhere. And then this one, I accepted the position the minute that they told us that PwC was officially going to be virtual. And I'm like, this one, I want to stay with my family. I don't have to pay rent. I'm pretty good. So the interview process. Oh yeah, that one was pretty good. It's just be yourself and be confident. I guess that's the main thing. Be honest. And basically what they're looking for at PwC is for you to be able to have people skills, since that's what you do. You're talking to a lot of clients, and as long as you're able to have a conversation and just be friendly, I think that's the main important thing. It's good if you know basic computer science, cybersecurity stuff, but they teach you everything on the job. You really don't have to know anything. Everything that I'm learning now, I didn't learn a single thing in college, which is really nice. That was it. That was mine. my tangent. All right, so right now, when we had to do our trainings, they told us that we had to study like Microsoft Azure and Microsoft AWS. So they told us to take like certifications. They didn't mind which one you took. So for me, since I was in the cybersecurity aspect, I had to take Azure. But now that I'm working with my clients, like I don't need Azure, I need AWS. So I'm also studying for that one. So I recommend anybody that like is interested in doing cybersecurity to do both Azure and AWS. And I know that every single year it is required for like in the firm for us to get another certification and to always be like elevating ourselves. And they do a lot of perks like, oh, like if you end up getting this, like we'll end up giving you cash or whatever, like, which is really good. It's a cute incentive, but it's also a way for us to always be like growing. So that's basically the main thing, like the huge one, like AWS, since I'm still learning it, and like they're talking about it all the time. And we have to do a lot of like diagrams, we have to do a lot of like documents, and like I basically like I'm like, okay, what is this on Google, and I have to put it like it's best if you already know what it is beforehand, but not required. Okay, so I was very crazy in college. I was always like, I had like my planner, and then I had like my digital planner, and then I had like my calendar, and I'm like, oh, I need to like wake up at 5 in the morning. I needed like, this is my 30 minutes of lunch. Like I was like very rigid on my schedule. And sometimes it was really hard because I would definitely sacrifice sleep and like social for school, and for work I was crazy. I had like 2 jobs in college. Like I was killing myself for no reason. Like, I mean, it looks really cute and really pretty on my resume and on LinkedIn, but like it really wasn't good for mental health. There was a time in which like I completely like burnt out, basically. So I took 6 months off. I went to Disney. I worked at like the college program. So I feel like if you really do not take care of yourself in college, like you're going to burn out, and like it's all gonna be downhill from there. But yeah, that's basically the main important thing. Find hobbies as well. Right now, since like this is the first time that I have like free time, I'm like, okay, what do I do in my free time? Like I sit down and I'm like, what do I do? Should I go back to work? Like I literally like I need to do things. So like I don't know. I've been starting to like watch anime. I've been starting to do a couple of things, but just to figure out what kind of things I like and what kind of things I don't like. Yeah. Alright, so the main one that I'm going to say is definitely like be very communicative. Like since we're virtual, like nobody knows what you're doing, and like you could literally be like taking a nap and like nobody knows. So like you have to be overly like overshare what you have to do. Like you have to be like, oh, I'm doing this and that. And every single day my team meets for like 30 minutes just to talk about what we did that day. And I am somebody that I don't like talking about the work that I do. I'm very like, oh, I don't like talking about, like, I don't like being like, oh, I did this and I did that. But you kind of have to do it. It's something that needs to get done on the job. Something else that, like, I am starting to learn how to do is give people drafts. Like, in college, my first draft was my last draft. Like, that's the thing that I would send out. Like, I literally was like living life on the edge. Like I would wait till the very last minute. I was a procrastinator. I would be like, well, let's pray that it's good, you know. But here, every single day, I have to give them a draft. And even if it's crappy, they will tell me like, oh, this is wrong, this is bad. Like you need to fix this. But like, how am I? Like it's the best way for me to learn. By telling them what to do, and it's best for the client, for them to know, like for us to give them, oh, this is what we did today, this is what we did today. Because they're not at the very end when we present to them like our final deliverable, like they're not going to be like, what is this? Like everything here is wrong. And we've had days in which the client has been like, this is wrong, this is not right. But the deadline is in like 2 months from now, so it's fine, like you can fix it now. So that's the main thing, like to be overly communicative and to always just be doing drafts and always drafts, like best friends, honestly. Oh, easy. I guess just not be afraid to apply for the internship for the role that you're looking for. Back in 2017, I wasn't doing so hot with my grades, in which I took a class 3 times. I was very my GPA was nowhere near where I wanted it to be, so I would apply and then they would ask me for my GPA and then I would leave it. Like, I wouldn't even submit it. But obviously that's the worst decision that you can do. Like, if you don't submit it, like, you're never gonna know that you got it or not, you know? So, don't be afraid, like, take risks, honestly, network with a lot of people, with everybody. Like, I didn't know about the Grace Hopper if it wasn't for my friends. Like you need to be able to network with everybody because like you never know who's gonna be working with you. And now I found out literally yesterday that there's like 3 people that are also working at the same company as I am that are here in the Valley and went to UTRGV, and I'm like, yo, what's up, you know? So you never know when somebody might need something from you. And like it's always like a really nice thing to help somebody out, to be like, oh yes, I can help you with this. Make me as your reference, you know? Like I think about all those times that like I would cry and I would have like anxiety attacks. Like I would be like, dang, like I'm never gonna get a job. Like if I got a job and I failed my classes like 3 times and like I had like a bunch of like F's, like everybody else can do it. Like I'm basically like, and Dr. Schreller, he would be like, oh, there's always like you are not the worst student in the class, and then or something like that. And like obviously there has to be a student that was the worst in the class, and that was me. Like I knew it was me, and then like it doesn't make sense, but like I was really good at selling myself in interviews. Like I was really like my like LinkedIn and my resume, like they're super pretty, they're super nice, but like me, like I didn't know anything. So like I worried so much. I was like, wow, what am I gonna do like after college? Like there's no way I'm gonna get a job. And I got a job. And I got a job in cybersecurity, and it's really good. And every single day I'm like, wow, like I feel so blessed to be doing this. Like I got to learn so much, and like it's a completely different vibe, and I love it. So like if I got it, basically what I'm trying to say is that like you can get it too. Like that's basically the main thing. So for the longest time I was like, maybe I should get a master's. But I realized that nobody in my, like where they work, like my manager, my director, like nobody has a master's. And then they told me like, if you want to get a master's, don't get it in like cybersecurity, get it in business. Because I guess like the job that I'm doing, like it is cybersecurity, but you also, it's very like corporate at the same time. Like you have to, like it's a really interesting mix of like both, that you always have to like be ready to talk with clients, be ready to take notes and present, but at the same time like do like technical stuff. And like it's a very weird combination, since I was always like, like, you know, like very computer sciencey, like I don't know how to say it, but like so now I have to be like more polished. I am not polished because obviously I'm virtual, and like I get to be at my house and I'm like eating chips and everything while I'm working. But like what was the question? Oh yeah, for the longest time I was like, I want to do a master's, but maybe I could do a master's. I'm not sure right now. The main thing I want to do is like rest. This is the first time that like I've fully been able to just rest. And well, obviously I'm working, but like I don't have homework. I don't have to study for exams. Every single day I finish my assignments, and I'm like, well, I can always do it tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. And that's been so good. I feel so nice, and I just want to like take it in. For the longest time, like I wanted to work at Disney again. So maybe that could be something in the future, but I'm not necessarily, like right now I'm really enjoying it. Like I never thought I would be in cybersecurity. I always thought I would be like in a SWE role or like in a PM role, and I'm not, but I don't regret it at all. Like it's awesome and I'm learning so much, and I think that's it.